So welcome to our Embodied Mindful Yoga session, our Saturday session. So our bodies in the mornings are a little bit tighter, a little bit stiffer, but also we might have a little bit more energy because we haven't used up our energy through the day yet. So allow yourself to find a comfortable space, your own variation of Shavasana. So you could be lying down with your legs straight or your knees bent, or even on your side. You could use bolster under your knees if you prefer, or you could even sit up if it feels like you want to sit up. And just allowing yourself time to arrive. So as always, we're starting with time to arrive. Allowing yourself to slow down, pause, reconnect with how you are. Taking time to arrive. How are you this morning? Bringing that quality of curiosity. Can you be curious about how you are? As always, remembering if you are feeling really in activation within your body or within your mind, you can take a moment looking around your environment, the room that you are in, taking time to orient yourself within the space that you are in. Consciously and mindfully noticing that you are safe within your immediate environment. I'm just noticing with curiosity and kindness, how am I right now? What's here? It is Saturday. Maybe you had a really busy week. Maybe you haven't had time for your practice, or for pausing, or for slowing down. Maybe this is the first time that you are actually kind of turning inward. Or maybe your week has been slower pace, where you had time to connect. And you're just rolling into your weekend. So it might be different for each one of us. Just noticing how you are. Maybe that's been, a lot of emotions. And maybe a little bit of self-soothing would feel really good right now. And in which case you could bring one hand on your chest, the other hand on your belly, or both hands on your belly. And just giving yourself a little bit of self-soothing. It's such a simple practice, but extremely powerful. And it changes our experience on a very biological level, releasing different hormones, soothing, reducing cortisol and adrenaline. And then allowing yourself to notice how you are supported by the ground underneath you. Noticing how your weight is supported by the ground. And maybe noticing your breath as well. How is your breath right now? You don't have to control your breath in any way, just allowing yourself to be curious about your breath. Maybe softening in your belly a little bit more so the breath and the air can travel all the way down to the bottom of your lungs, moving the belly. Maybe you could even allow your feet to flop to the sides, bringing a little bit of softness within your feet and your legs and your hips. Or maybe you could soften a little bit more in your shoulders on the next out breath. Just allowing your shoulders to soften into the support of the ground. And then allowing that softness to roll down your arms, all the way down into your wrists and your hands. A little bit like a wave, spreading softly in an easy, soft way. Maybe you could allow yourself to feel a little bit more of that self-acceptance. And that's exactly what self-compassion is. It's about acknowledging, witnessing, and accepting with kindness how you are in this moment. So if you are relaxed, that's great. And if you're restless, that's great. Holding all of it in that compassionate presence, giving yourself a little bit of space to feel that support and stability of the ground underneath you, and to notice how you are right now without making it bad or wrong or needing to be fixed. And then noticing what is it that you need. What is it that you need from today's session? What is it that you need? Do you need to move your body and stretch out, open space in all those different parts of your body? Maybe you need to build some strength and a bit of heat. Maybe you need to ease off and soften. Connect with your breath or go deeper with your breath. Maybe you just need to simply arrive within your body and within the present moment, however you are. And then just allow yourself to stretch in any way that feels right. Just stretching. So a little bit of that intuitive movement. How can you stretch? How can you move in this moment? Maybe there is particular movements that your body really wants to do right now. What we often forget is that the body moves in certain way. So with your elbows or with your knees or your hips, you're not going to be able to move it in a way that it was not designed to move. So a lot of our movement is intuitive, just like the babies are. You know, when you watch babies moving, it's very intuitive. They just roll over with the path of least resistance. And as adults, we become so rigid. And so just playing with it a little bit. And then slowly just bring your knees to your chest, hands on your knees, and just gently rock from side to side. And just noticing how you are. Good. Okay, then bring your feet down towards the ground, arms out to the sides, and just rocking from side to side. You can add your head into it and just noticing, does it feel like you want to do it faster? Does it feel like you want to do it slower? How does it feel? Oh, maybe you want to pause to really feel. When we move too fast, we don't have enough time to really feel within the body. So although moving faster is often quite good for building strength, if we want to reconnect with the body, we have to slow down a little bit. Slow down enough to just notice. Good, okay. And then just bringing the knees facing towards the ceiling, arms alongside of the body, palms of your hands facing up. And we're going to do the somatic movement in a slightly different way. So we're doing now this kind of sensing within the body. So slightly different way. So the movement that we normally do with the rolling of the pelvis forward and back, today I want you to use your feet to just rock up and down. This is a movement, exactly the same thing. We're just rolling the pelvis, but we're doing it a little bit faster. And this is amazing for the nervous system and for holding in the body. It's just a different way of working with the body. Couple more times. Notice how the body moves in here and just release completely. Notice how you feel after you've done it. I normally feel like the weight of my body is much heavier just after this one movement. Okay. And just bring your right knee to your chest, hands on your knee, both of your hands, and just squeeze the head in. See if you can touch your knee with your nose. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. And then just stretch the left leg out. You can hover it above the ground, or you can just bring it into the ground if it is too much. So depending on what's right for you. And then just bring the foot back, bend the knee, and bring the other knee down. And the other side, so bringing the left knee to your chest, give it a squeeze, lift your head, notice whether you can touch your knee with your nose. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. And then just stretch the right leg out. Again, you can hover or you can just bring the leg down, so you're just lengthening that leg. Okay, release, bring the foot down. We're gonna do it one more time. So, starting with both knees bent, just take a moment, relax, and bring the right knee up, both hands on that knee. Lift your head towards that knee, squeeze, and then release a little bit, but hold your head, lift it up. Then stretch the left leg up. Again, hovering above the ground or bringing your leg down. If you are hovering above the ground and you're comfortable here, you can even release your hands for a moment. And then release. Bring both feet down. And the other side, left knee. Squeeze the knee in, lift your head. Then release a little bit. And then stretch the right leg out. Either bring the foot on the ground or hover, or even release the hands. Make sure you're breathing and then release. It's quite intense thing. Okay, bring the arms alongside of your body, feet slightly apart, and again, just rock. The same movement as we did a moment ago. We're just rocking. So I'm using my feet and my legs to do the movement. Just rocking for a moment. See if you can really relax in your shoulders and your neck. Can you soften in here? Or does it feel like your neck is really tight? Made out of wood, so it doesn't move at all. Takes a little bit of practice here, and then just relax completely. And slowly bring the palms of your hands facing down. Keep your feet slightly apart. Breathe in, raise just the arms and bring them behind your head. And just notice whether the palms of your hands, or rather the tops of your hands, can touch the ground behind. And then slowly bring them down. We're gonna do it 3 times. So one more time, breathe in, bring the arms. Notice the difference between left and right shoulder. So for me, there is a big difference in the shoulders and the sides of my body. Notice whether there is a difference for you there. And then bring them down. One last time, breathe in. And breathe out. Good. This time we're going to do 3 times, but lifting the hips. So, and arms. So breathe in, lift the hips, bring the arms behind the head, and lengthen the back of your neck, tucking the chin under. Feet are very firmly pressing against the floor. And then breathe out, lower the arms, lower the hips. If lifting the hips is too much, just continue with your arms only. Breathe in. And breathe out. One last time. Very good. And breathe out. And bring the knees to your chest, hands on your knees. Gently rock from side to side. And then just rock up to a sitting position. Coming into a sitting position. Okay, how are you all doing? Everybody okay? Perfect, great, good. Okay, so let's do a little bit of breathing. So we're going to do, we do the ocean breath a lot in our yin class. We don't normally do it in the other classes. So we're going to do a little bit of ocean breath today. I think it's really good. And then we come into a standing position and we will continue using that breath as we go through our practice. So sitting upright, making sure that your chest is open, your belly is open, bringing your hands in front of your chest. As you breathe in, we open the arms. As we breathe out, we bring the hands back. Dropping the breath into more of a throat, as if you were trying to steam the glass. And then breathing into the belly and out from the belly. And it's the out breath that is an active out breath with the belly going in. And so then the in-breath becomes much softer, okay? So beginning your breathing. Breathing in. And out. Belly going in. Follow your own breath. So notice how your breath creates the sounds of ocean waves. Ocean waves coming to the shore as you breathe in, and ocean waves going out as you're breathing out. And also notice the subtle changes within your body as you're breathing in this way. If you can allow that soft and gentle unwinding to start taking place as you're breathing. Very good. And I'm just finishing and bringing your hands onto your lap. And just taking a few moments. And then come to a standing position. You can practice if you want, if you can come up. It's always good. Apparently, that's one of the tests, according to BBC, whether you are still quite young or not. I don't know how they measure it because there is a lot of young people that cannot do this. Okay, and then just bounce. Let's just bounce for a moment. Let's just bounce. Maybe step forward with one leg and bounce. Step back and bounce. And just bounce. And just bounce. And just bounce. Okay, standing with your feet slightly apart, hands on the hips, and just move the hips around. Move the hips around. There's some really interesting research about how when we get older, this is the movement that we lose the mobility in. And that affects obviously the spine, our balance, and also a lot of sensations. Switch the direction. So this is the part that we really want to open and keep soft, as well as have the strength. Lovely. And mini sun salutations. Breathe in, raise the arms up, look up. Breathe out, forward bend, come all the way down. Breathe in, come halfway up, flatten the back, look up, hands on your knees. Breathe out, forward bend. Breathe in all the way up, look up. And hands in front of your chest. I'm going to do it 3 times. So breathe in, arms up. Forward bend. Open your chest, look up. Forward bend. All the way up. And hands in front of your chest. One more time. Breathe in, arms up. Forward bend. Open your chest. Forward bend. All the way up. And hands in front of your chest. Bringing the hands onto the side and just step your feet a little bit wider to the edges of your mat. Breathe in, raise the right arm up. As you breathe out, just slide that left arm down and just coming, bringing that right hip out a little bit, reaching over. Breathe in, swap over. And breathe out, sliding the right arm. Breathe in, swap over. And sliding. Breathe in, swap over. And reaching. Keeping shoulders soft. One last time. Breathe in, swap over. And reach out. Breathe in, swap over. And reach out. Lovely. Then come to the center. Breathe in, raise the arms up. And then as you breathe out, just come into a forward bend, keeping your legs as they are. And today, either grab your big toes or grab your ankles. If you can grab your big toes. Or you can grab your ankles if that's easier. I'm just taking a few breaths here. Breathing in and softening into the belly, out from the belly, keeping those shoulders soft. Good. Very nice. Maybe even move your head a little bit. Release a little bit in that head. Remembering that you can always come out of the pose if it is too much, but you can also bend your knees a little bit if it becomes a bit too much of a struggle here. Breathing into the belly and out from the belly. And releasing in that lower back, releasing in your shoulders and your spine, your back. Good. And then slowly come up, raise the arms up. And then just bring the arms to the sides. And we're just going to do a little bit of a movement here, just with the arms. What I'd like you to do is just roll the right arm down and under with the shoulder forward. And then do the other side. So we're doing the wave. The left arm is rolling, the right arm is coming. So just a little bit of movement, and notice on which side, which movement is easier. And then see if you can just start moving the hips a little bit with it as well. Making sure your knees are not completely tight. So I can notice that the right side, right arm, really is easy. The left side is a bit tight in the shoulder, and especially when I roll it forward and under, it's struggling a little bit. There's tightness in my wrist and my hand. Simple movement, but quite difficult for many of us. Make sure you're breathing. If it feels weird, that's okay. We're making new neural pathways in your brain. Wonderful. One last time. Amazing how tight it can feel in the shoulders. And then release and just roll the shoulders around. Keep your feet where they are at, and then bring your hands behind, interlock your fingers. Breathe in, squeeze the arms and pull them back and down. And as you breathe out, release. We're gonna do it 3 times. Breathe in, just squeeze, pull down, and then release. And this time as you squeeze and release, open your chest, keep your knees soft, and just come into a forward bend. Coming all the way down. As always, if it is too much, you can do it standing up rather than going into a forward bend. Good. Okay, so don't overdo it in the shoulders. Find the right amount of intensity for you. Lovely. And then slowly come up. Release. Keeping your feet where they are at, just shake your hands for a moment. And then we're just going to do a little bit of a twisty thing. So we're just going to start with the right arm, just swinging it one side, coming back to the center, swinging the other arm down. So bringing the foot onto the toes. A different way of moving the body. Habits and repetitions are great, but sometimes they create rigidity, and so we want to move the body sometimes in a different way. Great. Lovely. And then coming to the front, and we're going to do one other thing, and we've done this but quite a long time ago. So coming to a warrior one pose with the left foot forward, bring both hands as if you had little fist. Don't hold it too hard, but just a little bit. Starting with a warrior one pose. Not too far back today, because you're going to have to be able to be mobile. And then when you are ready, just kick and then stand back. Back into stability, and take a moment back into stability. Feeling real stable through your legs. And then kick again. And then back into stability. Do it a few more times. Good. And if there is somebody that you'd like to kick, you can imagine that you're kicking them as well. And then back to stability. So really important that in between you find stability again. And then kick. One last time. And then stability. And then bring the arms up. Warrior one, stable, grounded. Really here. You can even do that with me as you breathe out. Stable, grounded. And then breathing in, raising the arms. Creating space and breathing out. Stability through the legs, grounded. Breathing in, creating space. And then release. Bring your feet a little bit apart and just do a little bit of this movement. Finding your own way of doing it. Swinging. So who said yoga can't be fun? Okay, and then we're going to do the other side. So come into a warrior one pose on this side. Feeling stability. So really feeling that stability. So what we don't want is any of this. And we don't want any of that because then you can't kick. So finding the right stability right in the middle. Stability first. Oh, connecting with your breath. Soft fists, shoulders soft. And then when you're ready, just kicking and coming back to stability. And kicking and coming back to stability. So for me, this side, I have to take a little bit longer finding stability on this side. Notice whether that's the case for you or whether it's easier on this side. And again, if there is anybody that you could give it to, finding stability in between. And then releasing. And then just bounce. Oh, sorry. My mistake. Stay in the warrior one pose first of all. Find the stability. And breathe in. Creating space. And breathe out. Feeling that stability through the legs. Breathing in, creating space. Breathing out, feeling that stability. Breathing in. Oh, and breathing out. Stability through the legs. And this is what resilience is. And being able to self-regulate. That we go into this activation, but then we are able to come back into stability, into being grounded and centered. And then release. Good. And then just bounce. Doing a little bit of silent yoga dancing. And then let's come down into a sitting position. Oh. How is everybody doing? You okay? Yeah? Brilliant. Good, good. Okay, so let's just do a very simple forward bend pose with the right leg out, left foot in. Before we go into the pose, just taking a moment here, finding that center place. For many of us, we just lift this hip because we don't have enough space in here for the hip to open. So just take a little bit of time in here. Sometimes what helps is putting something under that right knee to take the pressure off, and then it feels like there is more space for the hip. So if you're feeling particularly twisted to the left side, you can do that. The other way is to put a little bit of a blanket under that left side. So just finding that inner space, this middle space. Lengthen the spine. So you open in the chest and the belly, shoulders are relaxed. And then on the next out breath, just coming into your forward bend, just following, staying in that centered position. And coming to the first point of resistance. Rather than pushing through to the optimal way, just stay at the first point of resistance and just practice your ocean breath here. Allowing your body space, time, and that opening. So we bring in that quality of yin, that quality of allowing. You know, we did the yang part, the strong, showing part, building up part, strong part, and now we're shifting more into that, more yin. And within our life and our practice, we need both. And just allowing yourself to stay connected with your breath. You're noticing those physical sensations in your body. How your experience changes as you stay in this pose. Using your breath to stay connected and spacious. Noticing where your mind is, where your presence is. Always coming back within the body, within the mind, within that breath. And then slowly coming back up. Swap the legs over. Bringing the left leg out, right foot in. And again, the same thing. So taking a moment to sit here, to find that centered space. So it might be that you might want to put something under that left knee or something under the right hip. If it feels like you're very out of center here. Now remembering we all have different bodies. It's just how our bodies are, how we use them. Our bodies are our biographies. Okay, and then slowly just lift. Opening the chest, opening the belly, and then as you breathe out, slowly come into a forward bend into this first point of resistance. And again, right through the center in a very centered way. Practicing your ocean breath. Really noticing with curiosity, is it the same as it was on the other side? Maybe it feels very different on this side. And how would you approach this pose differently right now if you wanted to create a little bit more space, a little bit more of unwinding and opening? Maybe you would connect more with your breath. Maybe you would back off a little bit. Or maybe you would bring more of that yin quality, this allowing and softening. And noticing where is your mind, whether your mind is still here, or whether your mind has gone off to something more exciting out there. And then slowly coming out. Good, okay. Bend. Bring both feet in front of you. We're going to do the movement that we did on in the last class on Monday, which was really kind of interesting, and I've been playing with it, and I really would encourage you to do that because it's really amazing for the unwinding of the body. So bring the feet to the edges of your mat. Okay, breathe in, raise the arms up. Open through the sides. As you breathe out, turn towards the left, drop the knees down, bring both hands flat, and just slowly just look past your left shoulder. Breathe in, come to the center, raise the arms up. As you breathe out, bring both hands to the right, drop the knees and look and twist to your right. Breathe in again to the center. And as you breathe out, coming to the left, twisting. So we're not forcing anything. It's a very slow somatic movement where we're just feeling within the body. Breathe into the center. So we're just feeling within the body, sense within the body. How much movement? Where is the tension? How can I approach it to create more space? Breathe in. And what's interesting here is that we're following the natural movement of fascia and of the body, because it's that spiraling. We move in spirals. There's so many shapes in the nature like that. Breathe in. And one last time. And then coming to the center, raise the arms up, stretch the legs out, and just coming to a forward bend and just take a few breaths here. Taking a few breaths here. And then just slowly come up. Good. Sit down for a moment and just roll your shoulders. Right? Just roll the shoulders here, creating a little bit of space in the shoulders. You could do small rolling. You could do big rolling with both arms. You could do opposite rolling. So it feels like it catches or opens the shoulders a little bit more. Lovely. Okay, and then just coming to a lying down position and bringing the knees into your chest, hands on your knees, and then just gently rock from side to side, massaging the lower back. And we're just going to do a very simple butterfly pose today. So bringing the feet down towards the ground, you can bring the bottoms of your feet together. Or if this is too much, I know sometimes people prefer to cross over the legs because it sounds slightly easier. And then with the hands, either bringing the hands on your belly or bringing the arms behind the head with the palms of your hands facing up if you want to open a little bit more. Whichever one feels like the right variation for you, or even having the arms alongside of the body. So staying in here for a few breaths. If at any point it becomes too much, just bring your feet on the ground, pointing the knees towards the ceiling and releasing in your pelvis. I'm just going to stay here for a few breaths, a little bit of butterfly pose. And again, just using your breath. So as you are here in a butterfly pose, just use your breath, a bit of that ocean breath. Breathing into the belly, pausing, breathing out from the belly, pausing. Allowing yourself that space and time to feel and sense within your body. Different sensations, little shifts that might be happening. Listening to what the body, your own body, is communicating to you in this moment through all those sensations. And then from this position, just bring your knees to point towards the ceiling with your feet flat on the ground. And we're going to do one last time the same movement that we did, which is just for soothing the nervous system. So this rolling of the pelvis, just moving using your feet and your legs. Just do this movement a few times. And just noticing if you can really soften in your neck and in your shoulders. I can't talk and soften. So if it feels difficult, great, be curious about it, because actually we hold so much at the base of the skull and the back of the neck and the shoulders, especially if you have got tight shoulders. The whole area with the neck and the skull will be very tight. And that's where the vagus nerve comes from. And that's how fascia also controls and holds. So we want to start softening it out and releasing a little bit, and that starts unwinding through the whole of the body. Good. And then stop the movement and just rest. Rest. Soften completely. Good. Let it rest. Let it rest. And you can also notice if there is any other movement or pose that your body is really craving to do right now. Is there anything? Is there any, any impulse to any pose that your body would love to do? Great. I'm seeing some really amazing. Everybody's doing something different, which is perfect because we all have different needs in our bodies. That's great. So whatever feels like there is an impulse to do something, there is a part that still wants to be somehow engaged. Great. Making sure you stay connected with your breath. That's really good. Very nice. Good. And so coming down into Shavasana, if it feels like you want to stay for a couple more breaths, that's absolutely okay. But just slowly finding your way towards Shavasana. And remembering that Shavasana gives us this pause to really be able to integrate any changes, anything that happened during our practice. It gives us this time to really notice what's happening. How are we now as we're moving to the end of the practice? Finding your own variation of Shavasana. And then just noticing if you want a little, if it feels like you want a little bit more self-soothing, using your own touch, so either bringing your hands on your belly or one hand on the chest, the other hand on the belly, or even one hand underneath your scalp and the other hand on the belly. So whatever feels right thing in this moment, this using self-touch in this way is extremely soothing for our nervous system, for our body. Just taking a few moments here to rest in this quiet space. Allowing yourself to feel the stability of the support underneath you. And again, just noticing how you are in this moment. At the end of our practice, and also noticing what you need for the rest of the day or this weekend to feel, to continue feeling stable and supported and grounded. What is it that you need? Do you need time out? Do you need time to so you can connect with yourself? Do you need time to connect with others? Do you need time in nature? Do you need to nourish your body in some kind of way? What is it that you need? Maybe you need a little bit more joy on this very grey day. Lovely. Okay, and then slowly bring your knees to your chest. Give your knees one more squeeze. Roll over to one side and just lie on your side for a few more breaths. And then come up to a sitting position for a moment longer. Sitting cross-legged or whatever way is comfortable for you. Coming to the end, to the closing part of the practice. Take a moment to connect with the feelings of gratitude for whatever is meaningful in your life. Whatever matters to you, whatever you care about, or whoever you care about. Taking a moment to feel that gratitude and appreciation in your body. And also the feelings of gratitude that you've taken this time for your practice, for your own benefit and benefit of others. And dedicate this practice to all sentient beings for their well-being and happiness. To Mother Earth, and also to somebody that you really care about. Maybe somebody who's been struggling, who could really benefit from the energy of this practice. Thank you.